Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. We're back with some new custom tactics, different formation, but still a very good formation. I'm talking about the 4-2-3-1 wide, so with the left and the right mids. So let's get into it. I'm gonna work with a build-up style of balance with a defensive line of 50. So this is different than what I used to. I've put my goalkeeper on sweeper keeper, just a plus as I always say. Then a defender, defend, fullback balance. I'm afraid that the back line will always stay the same and the only variation will be in the attacking positions. Then for the DMs, I've gone with deep line playmaker build up. This is my favorite CDM role because it allows them to go forward and you still play with a CDM. So then I've gone for inside forward on my left one and winger on my right one. This is to keep a bit of balance. So I can't play with both on winger because in that case nobody will be inside of the box, and both on inside forward is sometimes also a bit difficult to build up with. You can decide yourself which side you want winger and inside forward, but it's nice to have that balance at least. And then for the cam I've gone for shadow striker. I'm still experimenting a lot, but in this case I have Mia Hamm, so this is more also of a shadow striker than a playmaker. And up top, advanced forward attack. I've played a few games in the elite division, so I'm going to show you how to use this formation with some gameplay examples. What we do here is always try to get those wingers running, having players, but this is in every formation. This is a basic principle, but yeah, as you can see, the positioning of Mia Hamm here is not of a playmaker, it's really of a shadow strike. Of course, a finish is a bit pay to win, but you see the positioning of this card. It's there as almost a second striker, as the role says, and this is what we need to be a bit more direct going forward. Next clip, you see Nico Williams making a run, and we can use this. This is why the cam is important. This is why I play 4-2-3-1, so we have that option to give this through ball. If you play 4-4-2, this is not really possible. You can do this in 4-4-1, 4-2-3-1, but in 4-5-1 it's not possible. 4-4-2. This is why we love to play this formation, so make use of that with the cam to play those incisive balls through to your wingers and really get dangerous on the break. Now more build up from the back, but our opponent does this really bad, to be honest. He gets baited with the right back, and yeah, I don't even know why I included this. This is too easy. This is too easy, but it shows you that you always have to wait for your opponent. In this case, always keep dribbling with the R1 dribble with Mia Hamm. Wait for your opponent to do something, because then you can react to what your opponent does. If you already give that pass early to Mbappe, you don't even give your opponent time to mess it up. Now another transition, we got the ball with Mia Hamm and we keep dribbling, waiting for him to make a decision. He doesn't make any mistakes, so we work for the other side. This is where the inside forward of Mbappe comes into play and we score. But you can also see the positioning of the CDMs in this formation are really helpful on the deep line playmaker build-up, because they're there just as centimeters are. Unless you play your sentiment on playmaker, but if you play your sentiment on holding, I think it's even better to get CDMs with deep line playmaker plus. Now a build up from the back, we continue to play. Nico Williams defending the run under, and we watch again our opponent to see what kind of decisions he makes. He stays passive, and this is where we have to manipulate the AI a bit, because he wants to run back. We fake a movement, go the other way. He's too late with player switching, and we score. But it's really simple. As you can see in a lot of these goals is we start the attack on the right where our winger role is, and we work it to the inside where our inside forward role is. Next up, transition, always have a runner, and then you can decide if you want to play that pass or use it as a bait, but it can never hurt to have a runner. The DMs are there, no problem, and we find the space in the middle. But again, we're on the right side. With Nico Williams, we pass to the inside, and this is where we're dangerous, because we have three players there. The shadow striker, the real striker, and the inside forward left mid. They're all into the box. It's almost like a 4-3-1 of last year. And then it's all about looking who is free. Now let's watch some defensive examples. So 4-2-3-1, you want your DMs to be active. In this clip you see that he has a few lucky passes, and how do we react? We just stay there with Frankie and defend. But what happened there with Frankie is not the hardest part. I think the hardest part is in the build-up, because he gets the ball with Vitinha and we run back. That is important, because if we select our defenders, it's going to be difficult, as we do there with Llorente. But at the same time, we player switch well, we cover the spaces and force him to go back into the middle where we can select our DMs again. If we're being too aggressive, he can maybe shoot or dribble our center back and we're gone. Another build-up from him, he's walking and we're always good with our DMs, always covering the spaces, and wait for him, because in this game it's very difficult to press. It's just a matter of staying patient and covering all the important passing lanes. Then you can delay his attack and get the ball back later when the space is a bit smaller. Another transition from our opponent, and it's important to not select our center backs here, because then there will be gaps. Now we just stay, cover the important spaces, and wait for him to make a pass, as we do here with Frankie. We intercept that pass. But when you're on that outside, don't commit too much, because then the gaps will appear. Just delay him, and wait for your defense to structure. Another build-up from him with Putellas. He's being patient with it, using his defenders a lot, and he passes it into the middle. You can see that our front four is not really active, and we need to always cover this passing lanes to the striker. Yeah, in this attack, he's really patient, I have to say. But it's important also to get those wingbacks involved, get them to the inside, make them part of it. And when you get the time, you can also run back your front four manually, as we do here with Mbappe and Nico Williams. And just waiting for that opportunity. We trap him into that right pocket of us, because we've got 4 players there. We've got Frankie, Nico Williams, Llorente and Saliba there, all trapping Claudia Pina, and this is where we can be aggressive, force him into making a mistake. Another build-up from the back from our opponent. He finds Yamal on the right. We run back because the defense is compact, but he finds a way to play through. Yeah, as I said, we just cover everything, and the most important here is to always pull your defense towards the inside, towards the middle, and close that off. Because if we are gonna step with our center back, it's a 1v1. With Llorente, we can always use the AI of our center back and be aggressive with him. So guys, this was the video with the 4-2-3-1 wide. Let me know if you've got any questions down below. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you for the next time. Bye.